Hello, hello. I'm Mindy, a regular mom in her 40s. I am a wife. I'm a mom to 3 children who are not babies anymore. They're in junior high and high school. I have this little YouTube channel where I do a little bit of work, but I also just spend a lot of my time doing the homemaking thing. I have already been out for my little morning walk. I have made my first cup of coffee in my Charlie Brown trick-or-treat mug because we're gonna try to wish fall into fruition. With highs in the 80s on into October, we're struggling just a little bit for fall to completely arrive, which is not uncommon for this part of the country, but everybody's ready. So I'm gonna sip my coffee while I finish getting ready for the day, and I thought I'd just bring you along with me because I'm gonna do more of just the regular homemaking stuff as opposed to like the cooking and grocery haul stuff today. Basically, how does a stay-at-home mom in her 40s with children in their teenage years spend her day? Not a question anybody's really asking, but I'm gonna answer it for you anyway. Okay, all ready to go, and I'm actually leaving a few minutes early to my next destination so that I can go through the drive-thru at McDonald's. It's Monopoly, and my elder millennial heart is like beating with all the nostalgia from Monopoly. Tell me I'm not the only one who is a sucker for this. I don't know why, I just am. And it started yesterday, and I was curious like how it was gonna work since a lot of it is digital now. Like you don't have the little paper Monopoly boards like you put on your refrigerator at home and collect all the little pieces. It's a little bit different. And honestly, I was not a huge McDonald's person, save for the fountain. The McDonald's fountain, the fountain Cokes, Diet Cokes. We have Diet Dr. Pepper in our McDonald's fountain in this part of the country. It's just superior. It's like next level. So I've had those. I've had the coffee at McDonald's and the breakfast. But before they introduced the app, I just didn't really go there a lot. But since they've introduced the app and they have all these deals in there, I go a little more often. But I was curious to see if they were going to make it to where like some of the best priced items weren't going to have like the Monopoly pieces, or you couldn't use like the deals in the app to get the things that had the little Monopoly playing pieces off on them. But yesterday I got kind of a standard order for me. There's always this deal in my app that is like a free any size French fry with any fountain drink. And since I often go through, not often, but like a couple times a week, go through and get like a fountain Diet Coke, I'll go ahead and get the free French fries, and the kids will eat them like on our way to swim practice and basketball practice and all that stuff. They will gobble those up in just a few minutes. So I did that yesterday, and it was $2. It was $2.16, and there was a Monopoly piece on both my large Diet Dr. Pepper and the French fries, the large French fries that I got for the kids. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess maybe you're gonna be able to do this. So today I got a $4 breakfast meal. It's an Egg McMuffin, a hash brown, and a cup of coffee. My total was a little over $4 after tax, and I think there's gonna be 2 little McDonald's game pieces on that. I know, I'm an idiot. You can go ahead and tell me that I'm wasting my money, but there's just something about it that I'm like, oh, I love this. It reminds me of when I was a kid and you'd peel off the little stickers, and sometimes there'd be like a free ice cream or something on the back of them. Or sometimes it'd be like your 15th Kentucky Avenue that you've gotten all those times. I don't know what it is about it. I'm a sucker for it, okay? Okay, I'm just leaving Bible study. I am doing BSF, Bible Study Fellowship. That is like a global thing, and I've wanted to do it for a while and just didn't carve out the time until this year. So I am doing that and enjoying it so far. I really like the study we're in. It's an Old Testament study, and it's about like the Babylonian exile and return. But I might be kind of a Bible nerd because I actually enjoy working through the stories in the Old Testament, especially when you become familiar enough with the Bible that you can connect it to things in the New Testament. The whole Bible is one consistent overarching story about God's pursuit of mankind and our rescue and salvation. So it's really kind of cool to go back into the Old Testament and see those things that happen and still connect them, you know, with things that we're experiencing today. But now I am gonna head over to the thrift store. There are some very specific things that I'm looking for a special thing that I'm hosting this Sunday, which I will tell you guys about here in a bit. Okay, I am leaving the Salvation Army thrift store. Look at my giant sunglasses. These are the only ones I can find. These are like my emergency pair for my little console. Can't find the rest of my sunglasses. They've disappeared. I am hosting a school event for my son's class, his grade, his whole grade. It's 53 sixth graders. So I am hosting the dessert portion of a progressive dinner. And I was specifically looking for ways to serve the desserts. The school is gonna provide those for me. I'm providing like the space, I'm providing all of the, utensils and plates. I'm providing the hot cocoa bar, and they're gonna send some other things like the actual desserts that the kids will be eating. But I needed a way to serve them, like serving platters and things like that. So I was looking for some things that I could use to create, like a counterscape, a tablescape, so to speak, with decorations kind of around all of the desserts, because this is supposed to be kind of like a semi-formal event. It's the culmination of the end of their little etiquette unit. They do just a few little lessons in the fall in the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade about, how to eat at a restaurant, and here's the way a formal table setting works, and the different utensils that you use for different courses. And also things like how to RSVP for events, like how to talk on the phone with an adult, and how to write thank you notes and things like that. Just kind of general basic etiquette. And it culminates in this progressive dinner, and one house hosts all the appetizers, and then they split them up for the dinner into like 5 or 6 groups. And then the last house, which is me, I volunteered for this, hosts the dessert portion of the dinner. So that's what I'm busy preparing for. I went into the thrift store, into the Salvation Army store, looking specifically for ways to serve the desserts that we're gonna offer on Sunday. I looked around for a while, but I finally came up with a few items I think that are gonna work. First of all, I think this platter is beautiful, and I can just see like cookies kind of lined up in here, or cupcakes or something like that. So I think this is in pretty good condition. I haven't washed any of these things. We'll get to that here in a little bit. Some of the dessert plates that were sent to me by my sister are floral, so I thought I would go with that theme, and I found these 2 plates, but I saw this trick somewhere. I think it might have been from Jess over at Blessed Jess, who was doing this maybe with plates from Dollar Tree. But you take a plate like this, and then you take a bowl or something like that, and you turn it over, and then you super glue it to the bottom, and it becomes a platter, and it kind of elevates the plate a little bit, so you can create levels in your tablescape. So this bowl has like the roses on it. It's got a little chip there, but I don't really care about that because I'm gonna turn it upside down. I went to Target and got some super glue, and we're gonna test that out and see if that works. So same idea with this platter, and again, I've got the gold rim. It's all kind of coordinating a little bit here, and the ivory color. I looked around forever for something to create a pedestal for this, and I finally just landed on this little dessert glass, or whatever this is. I think this was probably like for, dessert or ice cream. Flip that upside down, super glue this, and we'll see if we can make that work. So you can kind of see how these 3 things together, it just creates 3 different levels and gives, a little bit of texture to whatever it is that we're gonna set out on them. That's what I'm going for. And then I saw this big platter. It's still in the box. It looks like it's from the 80s. This is like an 80s font right here. And it looks like it's never been used. I know the box is really beat up, but when I took it out, I thought it looked fantastic. See, it looks like it's in really good shape. I didn't see any chips or any scratches. Obviously, we'll clean it along with everything else, make sure it gets a good scrub down, but I thought this was really pretty. It's also really heavy though, so I knew if I wanted to elevate this that I would need something kind of substantial. So I found this little thing. It might have been an ashtray. I think it was probably a candy dish. I don't know. Could be lots of things. I'll clean it really well. But when I set this on top of it, it fit perfectly. Like absolutely perfectly. Like I don't even think I'll have to glue this down to make it the little pedestal, because it's not even like moving. It's just the bottom of this fit perfectly into this little bowl. So that'll be another platter. And this was like $4.99. So I spent less than $30 at the thrift store on all of these items. I think these are going to help me create, a really pretty picture at the end of the day for this dessert function that we're hosting. A couple of bucks worth of super glue to glue the little pedestal pieces onto the plates. and I think we'll be in business. And I'm, you know, rescuing something from the landfill, at least for a little while, and giving it, you know, a second life here in our little kitchen. Okay, back home, I changed into shorts and a t-shirt because it is so hot out. I mean, I know it's not that hot, but 85 in October just hits way different than 85 in August, you know? And now I have to turn my direction to work. I need to do a little housework, some chores around the house. If I will just take like 20 or 30 minutes a day and address a few things, it helps keep things under control. It helps keep the house from just descending into total chaos. It is not a day that ends in Y if I'm not doing laundry, which also ends in Y. And I also have a few things that I need to do for my channel. I've got a video going up in a couple days I need to finish optimizing, and it's a sponsored video and they asked for a small edit. So I need to get that done. I want to get that done so I'm not like trying to do it tomorrow, because tomorrow I will have like nothing in the day taking me out of the house, and it'll be a good time for me to kind of try to refresh my home a little bit. I want to get out my fall things. Obviously, I'm preparing for this big dessert gathering this weekend, so I can probably knock out a chunk of tasks at that time if I will take care of a few things today. And I actually have more time than normal today. And this is one of the good things about the kids getting older. My oldest just turned 16. She is driving herself to and from school and activities. And my other two kids are playing school sports now. So there are a couple days a week when I don't have to get them at the normal time. Like I get an extra hour to hour and a half before I need to go do the school pickup, which is kind of nice, you know? I mean, little bit more time to get things done, because the evenings are really not my own. The evenings we are going places, we are going to practices, we're going to rehearsals, to games, and it's great. It's super fun, but it's not a time when I'm gonna have, you know, a lot of time to work here on the channel or work in the home. So I need to get things squared away now.